students, welcome to class again. Today I'm going to cover a story from your extra reading book, Footprints Without Fate. The name of the story is A Thief's Story, A Thief. Now the title is talking about a thief. Now who is this thief and what is his story? So let's start. Children, you love this story because there are some stories that we hear or read. They leave a lasting impact in the minds of the reader, and this is one such story that really had a very deep impact in my in my mind. And because the story is talking about two individuals, and both the individuals were totally different. One is Anil, a young man of 25 years old, and the other is a thief, a boy of a lad of 15 years. But the age difference between them is not a matter of you can't say that a boy or a man, as he grows up of stage, he becomes more matured or he is more intelligent. But if you look at the thief here, the little boy, he seems to be a very interesting and very intelligent character in the story. So let's talk about this story involving these two important characters. Anil and Hari Singh are very smart thief. Hari Singh had been stealing for a long time, and a young boy of 15 years, how he became a thief, it's not written in the story, or no detailed account is given about his background. But we can only assume about a character, and I love assuming about characters, and I want you all to do that because the little hints we can get. Hari Singh became a thief, out of situations that he had in his life. So he was not born a born thief, but then situations in his life became so difficult. So he started stealing, and then he became a professional thief, a very smart, lifter. So that's what the story is about. Hari Singh always finds a new victim, and his process, or he leads his profession as a thief in a very unique style. First of all, he'll find his victim, get his trust somehow, and then he will try to know all the details about that particular man and loot him and escape and vanish into thin air. So that is his style. To do these entire procedure of Hari Singh, he needs to do something. That is, he used to change his name every time. So Hari Singh's real name, nobody knows his real name. So Hari Singh's story is talking about a thief who always takes an alias, and then goes on along stealing. And why does he take a new name? We all know, to escape from maybe the police, but also to escape from maybe his relatives or known of friends and acquaintances, so that nobody would come to know about him. So there are various reasons why Hari Singh might be doing that. We can only analyze it, we can only assume about it. So assuming is the game of the story. The story opens with a curtain scene of Hari Singh and Anil in a wrestling match. And Hari Singh might have been observing this young man of 25 years old who would be an easy victim, because he is a simple person, Anil. So he has the ability to observe and know people. Hari Singh has this great talent, and that is why he can easily rob Anil of his money. And he came into a conversation with Anil, and then he came to know this Anil could not pay him any money, but then he can allow Hari Singh to stay with him if he could cook for him. And yes, indeed, both of them started living, and but then Hari Singh lied about his skills in cooking. He was not at all good, and Anil had to throw the food. But anyway, Anil was a very easygoing man, and he was not that kind of a strict person or a boss kind of a person. He allowed Hari Singh to give him enough time, was very cool about everything. When Hari Singh started living with Anil, he learned a lot of things. He learned how to read and write, that he could never gain as a thief. So this kind of opportunities came to his life. But then one thing Hari Singh had as a thief is profession as a thief. His only intention of meeting Anil was that he wanted to rob this man of his money. But is Anil a very rich man? No, at all, not at all. Anil was a writer, and then he earns, it's not that he has got a regular income. He sometimes earn through his writing, and sometimes he does not have any money. And what does he do then? He borrows from his friends, and then he returns them whenever he gets paid. So he was living a very life that was totally depending on the way he worked. It was not a regular payment. So Anil could never pay Hari Singh and a salary, and Hari Singh still worked for Anil, and maybe there might have been a bonding that developed slowly between Anil and Hari Singh. However, Hari Singh always, as a thief, it said that once a thief is always a thief. He already had his planning in mind to rob Anil of his money. But then Hari Singh used to make some money, a little money. And how did he make? Anil used to give him money to buy groceries, and every day he used to make 1 rupee out of that. And without the knowledge of Anil, however, as you read the story, you will come to know Anil had an idea and had the knowledge, or he knew that Hari Singh needs to take that 1 rupee, but Anil never mentioned about it. As you know, Anil was a different kind of a person. And this is when Hari Singh was also quite, he was unable to know this man as Anil, because he had robbed other people in the same way, in the same style that he followed. He found them totally different from Anil. They were quite conscious, they were greedy and all, but Anil was very simple. He was so trustworthy, and it became very difficult to rob such a trusting person, because he was so simple and trusting that you don't see, it's not a game, or it's not really fun robbing a man who is very simple and trustworthy. It really may be a thief, as Hari Singh did not like it. He wanted his people, the victim whom he robbed, to feel the pain of loss. But then Anil was not like that. Anil was different. However, Hari Singh, though, kept on thinking about his plan. At the same time, he started growing with Anil. Anil even promised to give him salary, and Anil also promised to teach him how to read and write, and everything that a good person can lead a good life. But things started getting little different. Once Anil, sold a book to a publisher, and then he earned a lot of money, and he brought that money home, and he kept it under his mattress. And Hari Singh, he was very conscious, very aware, and he observed his victims well. So he followed Anil all the activities, and he saw that bundle of notes under the mattress. You find out in your story how much money was there. And slowly, that night, he crept slowly to Anil's room and took out that bundle of money, and Hari Singh fled. He ran away. He knew that with this money he can live a lavish life for 2 to 3 weeks, spending the money eating. And after that, when the money would be over, he'll find another victim. So that's what. He went away to the railway station. And when he was waiting there, he did not board the train. He did not get into the train. Why? And that day it was raining. And he was trying to, something happened, that day out of nowhere, some realization, something, sometimes God intervenes in your life. Maybe God has intervened in this young boy's life and gave him hope, or something that stopped him from boarding the train, and he retraced his steps back to Anil's house. It was raining that time. He sat down on a bench and thought about Anil, everything that he had promised, to lead an honorable life, and he knew that there was no place for him to go that it was raining. Where would he go? He did not board the train. But automatically, out of nowhere, without, in an oblivious way, his footsteps turned towards Anil. And he entered Anil's house early morning and again kept the bundle of notes under the mattress. And in the morning, Anil could sense, Anil pretended, he never knew it, but he knew that his money was handled and it was harassing, but he pretended not to know because the notes were damp from the rain, and harassing, did not want to leave his master for the good of his life. Anil, who was his new master now, who would give him a good life, he thought that he would learn to read and write, become a literate person, and lead the life of a good and respectable person, no longer be a thief. So certain sayings are there, once a thief, always a thief. I don't think so. Sometimes some proverbs and some sayings can be logical to some extent, but not always. Here, the main theme of the story, I feel, is the main central idea is trust. One important thing in life is trust, and if you really can trust someone, and you can really believe in someone, then your life would really be beautiful, because you can trust on someone who can change your life. You can turn into a new leaf, and Hari Singh wanted to turn into a new leaf, into a new person, and that trust and belief was given to him. So there's a story. Now I found some very interesting facts in the story which I liked. I want to share with you all. One thing is that the smile of Hari Singh. You find out what is so interesting about a smile, and what does his smile reveals, indirectly. There was something sarcastic or something ironic about the smile, whatever it is. Secondly, I love the part when Anil pretended not to know, but he knew everything. So find out those instances when Anil knew it, but he pretended, and how he tried to hide it or conceal it from Hari Singh to know that he was pretending. Another interesting thing was when Hari Singh, lied about his cooking skills. I really liked that. And what did Anil do with the food that first day he cooked? Whom did he give it? Where did he throw it? Find that out in your story. Then while reading your story, also find out one thing about Anil and his profession. Nothing much is given here, but then we come to know that he's a writer, and he earns by fits and starts. So how much money he earned that day, how much money was there in the bundle of notes, and how did the bundle of notes got wet. I think we already mentioned about it. And did Anil know about it, and how did he behave? Find out in the story. So here are some of the interesting things there. When you read the story, you'll find that Ruskin Bond had really done justice to the story. And as I was telling that, some proverbs are there, like, once a thief is always a thief. But then I don't believe in this kind of theories that are not permanent. You cannot say a proverb can be permanent forever. It can imply in all situations. It cannot be. People can change in one's life. Like Hari Singh has turned into a new leaf. So he was no longer a thief. He promised to become, because he was not born as a thief, remember. So love this story, enjoy this story. I really enjoyed reading the story, and I'm sure you love it, because it's talking about two individuals, and it's really talking about how they had a bonding, and how a person turned into a new life. New leaf. Thank you, and have a good day.